Welcome back to Aspirin Shed once again. I'm just playing with I've just finished making a little carb for it on my own design. Obviously it's similar to any other carb, but I made it off plan again. So I'm just going to try it and see if the engine will run with it. I just tried it. I put my finger over the carb and I wound it over and it sucked fuel. So first part done. That's closed, that's open. I can actually take a bit of adjustment out of the tappets at the moment. Just a wee bit of play in them. Wow! There we go again. I'll come back when I put the prop back on. Right, prop's back on. I'll just spin it. It's like Flight of the Phoenix, isn't it? I'm going to try it. Ignition off. Ignition on. Ooh. More or less fuel. Throttle's nearly closed in a minute. Try it with some less fuel. There seems to be fuel coming out everywhere. Less again. Run like that, so we'll give it some more fuel. Open the throttle. Ew, it sounded good then, didn't it? Glow plug seems to be going out. Wonder why. Yeah, it dies as soon as I take that off. I believe you can get different temperature plugs. I'll try it with another plug in a minute. I have just tried it. I've got a different plug in it and that seems to have been the problem. This must be a hotter or colder plug. I don't know what the difference is, but there is a difference. Because it certainly makes a difference to the running of this engine. carb seems to work a treat. Who'd have believed it? Wonderful. There we are. I think that's QED, isn't it? Here's a good one. Well, who would have believed it? So there we are. That's the little carb I made. Full throttle, closed throttle, needle valve, and who would have thought just changing the plug would make that much difference? Exceptional. It runs like a little trooper now. Somebody asked the other day about plans. I'm afraid there are no plans for this engine. As I've said at the beginning, the basis of the engine is the Whittaker 46 two-stroke, but I have adapted it so virtually what is original is the piston and the connecting rod. The crankshaft is different, the cylinder is different, the cylinder head is certainly different. We've got valves, a gear train, and a camshaft. All of those I made off plan. The only thing I did, because I'm not a draftsman or anything, is I was able, using Fusion 360, to draw certain elements that I needed to know the positions of things, like that one shows the position of the gears, and using that I was able to drill and make the gears fit in the front and things like that. I made drawings of the head, I made drawings of the valve gear, I made drawings of the cam, a drawing of the cam. That was a better drawing of the gear train. And the cam with all its dimensions, and it's using things like that I was able to make it not without any faults, although I've only made one piston and one cylinder. I've made one of everything. We've had very few breakages. I made one set of gears. I made a trial set of gears to begin with, which I showed some time ago. One set of gears. Basically the crankshaft has been, crankcase has been extended by 8mm from the original, and thereby the crankshaft. The crankshaft dimensions, it's mainly, it's got a, oh, I've put ball races in this as well, which the Firefly hasn't got. So it's got a 12mm internal diameter main race and a 6mm diameter at the end of the crankcase. We had to make a keyway to drive the first of the two gears. I forget all the things I have done, but that's it anyway. It is now a complete and running engine. So I think the next thing to do is move on, and I have started to draw 4-cylinder. What I was amazed to find out was the throw on the crank of these little engines is not much different. The throw on the crank of the ball aero, modified by Nielsen, is 7.11 millimeters travel. On this engine it's 7.7. Not a great deal of difference, is there? So working on that basis, I'm going to make my cylinders smaller, and hopefully the whole engine will be about 100, well, it's 112 millimeters long, and it will be an inline 4. Isn't it? But we've come quite a way in the last few months. Just excuse me for 1 second. Just a minute. Yeah, we moved quite a way in quite a short space of time. This was my first engine 3 years ago, a little air wobbler. I made 1 or 2 other air engines, including what's the name of the firm that make all the kits of steam engines? Go on. Hang on. Stewart. And so I built 1 of those. Little mill engine. Runs nicely. Between the little wobbler and the Stewart, I did my own thing again. This was my first slide valve steam engine to get away from the wibbler, or double acting, and that's another one I just made on the fly. Ugly looking brute, but it does run. So as I say, that's what we've done in 3 years, which is not a bad effort. We've gone from that to ball aero, to the Firefly glow. That was a little cracker, and then finally we hit the big time with a Nipsa 7.5cc overhead valve engine. Right, thanks for watching, subscribing, liking and hanging out in the shed. I'll be back, whether you like it or not.